This account presents a speculative scenario based on alternate historical possibilities. It does not depict real events or factual history.
Imagine a world where the cloud isn't floating in some invisible digital space, but rising out of factory chimneys. Thick, black coal smoke, brass gears turning, steam hissing through iron pipes. Now picture this. Queen Victoria, sitting in Buckingham Palace, casually checking her feed. Not on a smartphone, but through a mechanical terminal clanking away in the corner of the room. Messages arriving through telegraph wires stretched across continents. Updates from India, Africa, Canada, all in near real time. Sounds ridiculous, right?
Hold the line, lads.
But here's the thing. The technology to start building something like this actually existed in the 1800s. It just never fully came together. So what if it did? What if the internet showed up 100 years early? Because the moment information starts moving instantly, even at a slower, clunkier, steam-powered pace, everything changes. Empires don't just control land anymore. They control data. And once that happens, history doesn't just bend. It snaps into something completely different. It all starts with two people who were just a little too early for their time, Charles Babbage and Ada Lovelace. In our timeline, Babbage designed something called the analytical engine, a mechanical computer, not theoretical, real, with gears, levers, punch cards, programmable. And Ada Lovelace? She didn't just understand it, she saw what it could become. She imagined machines that could go beyond numbers into music, logic, even creativity. Basically, she saw the future. The problem? Nobody else really did. Funding dried up. The machine was never finished. End of story. Except, not in this timeline. In this version of history, the British government takes one look at Babbage's design and thinks, yeah, this could be useful. And by useful, they mean military coordination, economic advantage, and imperial control. So they fund it heavily. Engineers jump in, workshops expand, prototypes become reality. And by the mid-1800s, the world's first programmable computers are actually running. Loud, slow, massive, but working.
Now kick the dirt in.
Now
Quick.
here's where things get interesting,
Need that wire tightened next.
because one machine isn't enough. You need connection. Luckily, the 19th century already had something close, the telegraph. So they start linking these machines together. Telegraph lines stretch across Europe, undersea cables snake across the Atlantic, and in cities, pneumatic tubes shoot punch cards between buildings like some kind of industrial bloodstream. It's messy, it's inefficient, but it's a network, a real one. Messages that used to take weeks now take minutes. Stock prices update faster. Naval fleets coordinate across oceans. Governments react quicker than ever before. Even though everything is mechanical, the world suddenly feels smaller. And once people get a taste of that, there's no going back. And once this network exists, it doesn't stay neutral for long. The British Empire realizes what it really has, not just communication, but control. Uprisings are detected early. Orders travel instantly. Resistance gets crushed before it spreads. But it doesn't stop there. Messages start getting intercepted, delayed, manipulated. Wars aren't just fought on battlefields anymore. They're fought in the flow of information. Governments begin copying everything. Every message, archived. Entire rooms filled with clerks reading private communication. And then it spreads to the public. News updates printed constantly. Crowds gathering, reacting, arguing. Information starts going viral long before screens ever exist. And that's when everything begins to accelerate. But not in the way you'd expect. Now, let's fast forward, because this is where the long-term consequences really hit. In our timeline, computing eventually becomes electronic, smaller, faster, more efficient. But in this world, that transition never really happens. Why would it? They already have a working global network. It's slow, but reliable, expensive, but powerful. So instead of shifting to silicon, they double down on mechanics, bigger machines, more infrastructure, entire buildings dedicated to computation, massive facilities filled with gears, pistons, and rotating drums, all powered by coal. And that's where things start to break. Because running a global information network on steam takes an insane amount of energy. Cities get darker, air gets thicker. Pollution skyrockets decades earlier than in our timeline. You're basically running data centers with 19th century technology. And the environment pays the price. Hard. By the early 1900s, the effects are already visible. And culturally, things go in an unexpected direction. Because the system is slow. You can't refresh instantly. You can't scroll endlessly. You have to wait. And you'd think that would create a more thoughtful, slower-paced society. More reflection. But that's not what happens. Because the real issue isn't speed. It's control. From the very beginning, this network was centralized. Governments, corporations, gatekeepers. They shaped what people saw, what they believed, what they reacted to. So even if the system is slower, the outcome isn't necessarily better. It's just differently broken. So what does this alternate history actually tell us? That the internet was never just about technology. It was always about power. Power over information, over communication, over perception itself. Whether it runs on microchips or steam engines, the core dynamic doesn't really change. Someone builds the system, someone controls it, and everyone else lives inside it. So maybe the real question isn't, what if the internet came earlier? It's, did we actually build something better, or just a faster version of the same machine?